Welcome to the BamaInsider Tailgate Show. The show is presented by Tuscaloosa Sports and Tourism. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa. It's pronounced just right. Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey. Bud Light and Bud Light Seltzer. Light and refreshing. And Hotel Indigo. A world of neighborhood discovery awaits. For the next 2 hours, we're going to preview Alabama and the 8A game taking place here in Tuscaloosa. I'm Mick Gillespie. Always great to team up with one of the best in the business, Kyle Henderson. Kyle, of course, is the managing editor of the Alabama rival site, BamaInsider, and an expert on the Alabama football program. Going to have my buddy Chad Anderson join us later on in the show. We'll hear from Tony Tsoukalas. He covers the Crimson Tide for BamaInsider. Andrew Bone, the Alabama rivals recruiting expert. Lance Taylor from Jocks and more. Alabama rebuilding the offense after that perfect 13-0 season, winning the SEC championship, their 18th national title. They hit the field today to get wrapped up in spring practice at Bryant-Denny Stadium. We're hanging out with you live from Innisfree in Tuscaloosa. Kyle, I mean, look, man, this is what it's all about right here. It's football time again. Maybe it's not quite football time like we're used to, but it's football time again. How you doing?
Man, it is great to be back on the BamaInsider Tailgate. Do such a great job. Definitely hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. If you're listening on radio, remember all the coverage back on BamaInsider. It's A-Day. It's a great day for Alabama football. We get a new taste of this new offense, some new components, a lot to discuss about the defending champs. Of course, you had the ceremony where the guys got to etch their fingerprints in stone here right under Bryant-Denny, so at Denny Chime. So tons going on, tons to talk about as Alabama reloads once again to the 2021 season.
Well, Kyle, it's good to be back with you again. We hardly ever, seems like, get to be on the same show, but it's really fun to kind of get to talk to you. I want to remind everyone that during football season, every Friday night, the BamaInsider Tailgate Show goes from 6 to 8 as we record on Friday night. From Innisfree, from Rounders, different places on the strip for home games. We always invite you to come by. The show is 9 to 11 a.m. as you guys listen on Jocks 100.5. That's Birmingham and Tuscaloosa every game day. Podcast is available on Saturday night. So there's 3 different ways to get the show. And look, man, there is a vibe to this crowd here at Innisfree. I got the Bud girls are here hanging out. They're setting up, and we're doing our thing. I've got this show. I want to dedicate this show to my good buddy. We lost Fluffopotamus, Luke Ratliff, and got this shirt. Is a one of a kind, but I miss Fluff a lot, man. And I just, showing up to campus, going to R&R Cigar for the first time, I just thought a lot about that guy. I'm going to have a toast to him later on in the show. I'm going to drink a Budweiser in honor of him right here on the show. Kyle, I hope you'll join me.
Yeah, I mean, we were there when we met, when we hung out with Fluffopotamus there at R&R Cigar. It was great. We were hanging out, came through, rolled through. Biggest personality in the room, clearly was the bigger believer in basketball than even Nate Oates. And it was difficult news for not only Tuscaloosa, but I think for all of college athletics. And I think, that type of energy, that type of emotion, and the positivity, that he brought, will certainly be missed. But I think going forward, if we can continue to have some of that positivity going forward, then hopefully we can carry on the great legacy that he left. And, prayers out to his family, and definitely a tough loss for everybody in the college athletic realm.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Nate Oates spoke at his funeral, amongst other people. Our good buddy Reagan Starner did as well. That was last Sunday. So, like you said, man, prayers to his family. We miss him a lot. And it's still, for me, honestly, it's hard to believe. But, it's the way life goes sometimes. But we're thinking about Fluff. And I know all of Alabama and the Alabama Nation is kind of with us as well in those prayers. Let's talk about this football game a little bit, Kyle. Back to 50% capacity. And we're going to hear from Lance Taylor from the Jocks Roundtable, Lance's Lock later on in the show. Lance said to me that he thinks that if we get to 50,000 people tomorrow, it's going to be the biggest gathering since COVID.
Yeah, potentially. And I think that when you kind of look at all the pieces, that left this program, there's a lot of question marks. So I think, fans are eager to see this football team, and B, they want to see this new look Alabama team. You're going to have a new quarterback. You're going to have a new running back, a new offensive line. Of course, Saban said on Thursday night, what happens on A-Day doesn't mean anything for the season, because there's going to be a lot of, new faces. And of course, we don't even know the depth chart, so to speak. So if you're in Tuscaloosa and you get a chance to watch Alabama, it's going to be a great opportunity to see a lot of young players step up. Everybody's really curious about the new quarterback, Bryce Young, and everybody's really excited about to see the number 2 quarterback in Paul Tyson, a guy that we haven't, really seen. This is his going on, now 3rd season. So 2 quarterbacks now propelling that Alabama offense, led by Bill O'Brien. And then you also added Doug Marrone, who both of those guys, former NFL coaches to the staff. So Alabama has 3 former NFL coaches. No other college football program in the country can say that.
He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. As you guys listen on Jocks Radio, 100.5 FM, Jocks 2, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa. And if you're watching right now on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, this is the hottest YouTube channel in Alabama sports. Thumbs up and subscribe. We've been growing like crazy, and it's because of you guys, and we appreciate you so much. And obviously, don't forget, if you're listening to the podcast, 5-star rating. That's the way that you say Roll Tide to us, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. All right, when we talk about this Crimson Tide team and this program overall, Kyle, the process continues, and I just want to be one of the first to say it. The hunt for number 19 starts today. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'd be curious to, get Lance's feedback on, the college football champions for this coming season, because I think when you look at the landscape of college football, I think there's a lot of teams that feel that they can compete with Alabama this year, considering they lost, maybe 6-7 guys that could potentially go in the first round of the NFL draft. You lose Devonte Smith, who was the Heisman Trophy winner. You lose Mac Jones. You lose Najee Harris, Landon Dickerson, Alex Leatherwood. I could go on and on, but as you know, Alabama continues to reload. And I think what we've seen over this springtime has been a lot of progression from some of these younger guys. And of course, Alabama is so loaded, but I think really you're going to look to the defensive side of the ball this season. And I think the defense will really be the staple of this team overall. You got some veterans coming back. Everybody knows about William Anderson, AKA the Terminator, who will just be a sophomore this coming season, probably one of the top edge rushers in the entire country. You got Christian Harris at the inside linebacker position. You got Josh Jobe. You got DeMarco Helms, Daniel Wright. You got Jordan Battle. So many pieces to that defense that are returning that have so much experience.
Yeah, and look, it's great to get this team out on the field. We're going to talk about the different position battles. Obviously, a lot of us are interested in seeing Bryce Young, what the new coaches are going to look like, the fact that Alabama is going to honor that national championship team. I mean, there's so much to talk about with this game, but honestly, it's just exciting to kind of have football back again. And, Nick Saban, he just has figured out a way to do a lot of things. And I guess the big news is that now, and it was just announced this week, that they are going to pass that one-time transfer rule. And I just have this feeling that it's going to end up benefiting Alabama.
It seems like everything benefits Alabama, right? Or at least Nick Saban is so strategic in everything that he does. And when he spoke on Thursday night, he said that they're going to have a plan for that. So I think we're all curious to see how that impacts, the transfers immediately. And I think if the SEC, once they do pass it, you look to a player like Henry To'oTo'o, an inside linebacker who's in the transfer portal from Tennessee, a guy that was down between Alabama and Tennessee. I think he could really come to Alabama and make an instant impact. But I'm curious to see how that plays out. And of course, as Nick Saban said, the best players at Alabama, their top tier players, those guys aren't going to transfer. So I think it's going to continue to be business as usual at Alabama. But I think the transfer window and I think the transfer market will not only help Alabama's football team, but also help the basketball team and other sports that are seeking transfers that can make an immediate impact.
The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Tuscaloosa Sports and Tourism, inviting you to join us for the Atlanta Braves Growing the Game Tournament, April 23rd through the 25th. Find out more information at visittuscaloosa.com. The Alabama quarterback battle today should be worth watching. Bryce Young, Paul Tyson. Let's dig in to that with Kyle Henderson right after this.
It's the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The Lookout Bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
Alabama fans, what is going on? It is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. I'm inviting you to come to check out BamaInsider.com, the #1 source of Alabama Crimson Tide football coverage. We're going to have everything you need following Alabama's spring football game, Nick Saban's press conference, what we learned, observations, and of course, weekend recruiting visitors. Find more at BamaInsider.com. The free promo code is simply Roll Tide at checkout. Again, BamaInsider.com, promo code Roll Tide at checkout.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Bud Light has entered the hard seltzer game with Bud Light Seltzer, the new go-to drink for so many people. And Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great with 4 outstanding flavors like black cherry, lemon lime, strawberry, and mango. Bud Light is a household name, but wait until you try Bud Light Seltzer. Remember, Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great. Be on the lookout for Bud Light Seltzer. It's coming to your local grocery or convenience store.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer.
Kyle Henderson, as we jam out is brought to you by Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. That's today's game story segment. The quarterback battle, or is it? This is the BamaInsider Tailgate Show, and as you hang out with us right here, I want to remind all of you guys one big thing, and that is give us a thumbs up on YouTube. This is the BamaInsider YouTube channel. Thumbs up and subscribe as you hang out with us. It's free, right? If you're listening on the radio right now on Jocks 2, 100.5, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, you better come hang out with us on the net as well. BamaInsider is the Alabama rival site, and because of you guys, we're the hottest brand in Crimson Tide football. All right, he's Kyle Henderson, the managing editor. I'm Mick Gillespie. We were talking about this A-Day game. Kicks off at noon in Tuscaloosa. Might be the first time I take my son to a football game. Kyle, this is a good one when you don't, when you're going to take your kid, like a young kid, to a game, like you're not spending a lot of money. Are they going to be able to concentrate and watch the game? And are they going to be able to understand what Bryce Young's doing? Tell me about Bryce Young.
All right. So, yeah, but like you said, it's a great family atmosphere. I remember, a couple seasons ago taking my son to a game, and, it's a great experience. So if you guys do go to the game, I hope you guys have a fantastic time. Getting to Bryce Young as a quarterback, well, we saw a little sprinkle of him last year as a freshman, only threw the football 22 times because, as you know, Mac Jones was balling out of control. But I think coming into this season, I'm curious to see how he takes over this offense. Saban has continued to say that he's pleased with the progress. Then again, he got a little chippy when you asked about the quarterback last night. That was our own team writer, Tony Tsoukalas. So I think Bryce certainly has the talent. He has the ability to lead this team. But you kind of look at the entire offense overall. I mean, you're losing a lot of marquee players, but, that'll provide opportunities for new guys to step up. Remember, John Mechie is not playing on in the spring game because he's out dealing with the injury from last season. There's going to be a couple other guys that are going to be out as well during A-Day. So look for a lot of these younger guys to get opportunities. But I think overall, Bryce is a type of player that has a little bit of magic to him and can make the big play downfield. In the second scrimmage that was last Saturday, he threw 3 touchdown passes reportedly. So off to a good start. And, let's see how he does under new offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien was the former GM and head football coach with the Houston Texans. Nick Saban went out and got O'Brien, and he's going to be replacing Steve Sarkisian, who did a fantastic job for Alabama throughout these last seasons before he left to Texas. So all eyes will be on the quarterback, as it always is. Curious to see how Bryce handles that and takes it in, leads that offense in front of 50,000 at Bryant-Denny.
Yeah, it'll be a good atmosphere, I'm sure, just because people are excited to get back and see what's going on. And I'm going to be excited about this, Kyle. I want to see how this offense is going to mesh with Bill O'Brien as much as I can in a game like this. It's just a scrimmage, but I want to know that. Your thoughts on Bill O'Brien taking over the offense and what he can get out of today's game?
Well, I think Bill O'Brien, a lot of people had mixed emotions when Saban went and brought on Bill O'Brien because they were like, look, this guy didn't do the best job with the Houston Texans. He made some bad trades. And I think of it like this. Look, he's not coming to Tuscaloosa to be the GM or the head football coach. He's coming over to Alabama to run Alabama's offense and to really build on Alabama's foundation that Alabama's really transformed that offensive approach really since Brian Daboll was the offensive coordinator in 2017. We've really seen Alabama change to a high potent offense. I mean, you look at what they've done, under Tua, then you look at what they did under Mac, and that continues to build on. So I'm with you. I want to see how Bill O'Brien, continues to develop that offense. And as Nick Saban has continued to allude, there's no longer those defenses that can allow 10 points, 3 points. This is a high scoring college affair, and Alabama should continue with the components that they have to put up big points on the board.
He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. As you hang out with us here at Innisfree in Tuscaloosa, Alabama's 8A game today, the defending national champs. And we invite you to come and hang out here, get a cold Bud Light or a Bud Light seltzer as the Bud girls are here hanging out, handing out, as Kyle loves, beer. And, they've actually got Kyle a paper football table set up. So you and I could even tangle at that. As we try to be Bill O'Brien. Let's talk more about Bryce Young and Bill O'Brien's offense. Is he too, I guess a lot of people are concerned with Bryce's size.
Yeah, I can see that. You look to Bryce, and he's not the biggest guy, but I think what you're going to get is someone who can extend plays, can have that escapability to, make defenders miss. And we saw it at the high school level when this guy threw for 4,500 yards and 53 passes during his senior year. We saw a little taste from him last year. I think when you look to that game against Tennessee or the game against Kentucky, where he threw his first touchdown pass to Devonte Smith. Those were the type of plays that we're going to see from Bryce Young. Now, of course, that was a small sample size. So that's why we're talking about these quarterbacks so much. And the one quarterback that nobody wants to talk about for whatever reason is Paul Tyson, who's the second quarterback, right? And usually going into the season, you have 2 quarterbacks, which isn't a problem. I think that there's a camp that is curious about Tyson and a camp that just wants Bryce Young. But you rewind to last season, there was a camp that didn't want Mac Jones to start. And look with the progression that Mac Jones did, leading Alabama to a perfect season. So I think when you look to Bryce Young and all the physical tools that he might not have from a physical stature, he's going to make up with an ability to extend plays and really get the football where it needs to be and continue that high efficiency approach that we saw from Mac Jones. Mac Jones was extremely high efficient passing the football, and I think you're certainly going to see that from Bryce Young. This will be his first year really leading the offense. There's going to be mistakes. It's going to take a little bit of time for him to find that rhythm, but he has too much talent behind him with Brian Robinson, a guy who's really experienced, and then some new players on the outside edge. And, I think Bryce Young will flourish under Bill O'Brien.
With Kyle Henderson, I'm Mick Gillespie, the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, reminding you and asking you to check out BamaInsider.com right now. Great time to be a subscriber and hang out with us full-time, get the scoop on the Crimson Tide, including recruiting with Andrew Bone, and updates from Tony Tsoukalas. All right, look, Kyle, I get it. I mean, like, Bryce Young is assumed to be the guy, but what about Paul Tyson? You know, he's a legacy at Alabama. He had that great high school career at Hewitt-Trussville. You know, now all of a sudden he's the backup quarterback. He's a drop back guy. He's a big, strong kid. What are you hearing about him? And is there any chance that he could push Bryce Young at all, or is this just assumed to be over?
Well, I mean, Nick Saban has continued to say that Bryce is the quarterback. So, you know, there's no reason to debate with Nick Saban because he's the guy watching the film, watching these guys, and there's nothing wrong with being the number 2 quarterback. I mean, all it takes is one season, you know, so maybe Paul Tyson gets opportunities this season. Maybe, you know, there's another season for him down the road. But, you know, look at Mac Jones. He had to sit behind Jalen and Tua. Then he was really patient until he got his opportunity. And then when he had that one opportunity, he came through and led Alabama to a championship. So I think when you look to Tyson, I don't think that just because he's the number 2 guy doesn't mean that doesn't really mean much, to be honest. The number 2 guy is always just one play away from being the guy. And there's nothing wrong with having 2 or 3 good quarterbacks. Now, the third quarterback on this team is Jalen Milro, who's a freshman out of Texas. He's got, a lot of physical tools. He's a bigger kid and a guy who looks to be a dual threat quarterback, made some good runs and some good throws in Alabama's second scrimmage. So nothing wrong with having quality depth. Alabama's had quality depth at every position, but I think with the quarterback position, especially, and you look to Tyson and kind of the legacy that he's under, he's going to get his opportunity eventually. But right now, leading the first team offense will be Bryce. You got to build up that rhythm going into the season, want to see what he can do. And remember, Alabama missed the spring season last year. So I can't even imagine how much further along this offense is going to be with all the new components come the beginning of that first game against Miami, considering that they did have spring football. Then they're going to get fall training camp to get ready for the Miami Hurricanes.
He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. Make sure you subscribe and like as you hang out with us here on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. And if you're listening on Jocks Radio, 100.5 Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, 69,000 watts of mega power radio, we appreciate you being here. Also, don't forget we got the podcast available as well. Bama Insider, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. It's a 5-star rating. When you say that, you put 5 stars down for us. That's just like saying roll tide. All right, Kyle, what do you got going on? Give me a couple of nuggets for today's game, and then tell me what you got going on, Bama Insider, this week.
Well, I mean, for today's game, I mean, there's going to be a lot of players missing. You'll see that soon enough. I think there's some nagging injuries, so you're not going to see a lot of these starters. Remember, no John Mechie, no Emilio Ikior. There's going to be some other guys that aren't participating for a couple different reasons, but that's going to give you an opportunity to see some of these younger guys. Of course, at Bama Insider, you can come back and watch Nick Saban's press conference. We're going to break down everything that we learned from A-Day immediately following the game. So if you're out there, remember, Bama Insider, free promo code to the website is Roll Tide, or you can just go to YouTube and simply type Bama Insider. Tons of information coming your way on the Alabama Crimson Tide spring game, and we hope that to see you soon.
It doesn't get any better than this. And when we come back from the break, we're going to hear from our recruiting expert, Andrew Bone, as we talk about the fact that today, believe it or not, is a pretty big day in recruiting because a lot of guys are going to get on campus that didn't have that opportunity, some signees and some recruits. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. It's presented by Hotel Indigo in Tuscaloosa. It's time to start planning your next game weekend. Book it now. Andrew Bone's going to talk about the big recruits that are going to be on campus when we come back. Thanks, Kyle.
Spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The lookout bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
Alabama fans, what is going on? It is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. I'm inviting you to come to check out BamaInsider.com, the #1 source of Alabama Crimson Tide football coverage. We're going to have everything you need following Alabama's spring football game, Nick Saban's press conference, what we learned, observations, and of course, weekend recruiting visitors. Find more at BamaInsider.com. The free promo code is simply Roll Tide at checkout. Again, BamaInsider.com, promo code Roll Tide at checkout.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors. 35% alcohol by volume.
Bud Light has entered the hard seltzer game with Bud Light Seltzer, the new go-to drink for so many people. And Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great with 4 outstanding flavors like black cherry, lemon lime, strawberry, and mango. Bud Light is a household name, but wait until you try Bud Light Seltzer. Remember, Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great. Be on the lookout for Bud Light Seltzer. It's coming to your local grocery or convenience store.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer.
Welcome back to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, Alabama's rival site, as we hang out with you from Innisfree and Tuscaloosa, getting ready for the 8A game. I'm Mick Gillespie, soon to be joined by Andrew Bone. Andrew's going to come on with us. He's going to break down Alabama's recruiting. It's a big weekend for visitors, a big game for visitors. Bone tells us all about it. This segment's brought to you by our friends at Hotel Indigo, which, by the way, is really cool to hang out and check out the rooftop bar. It's called The Lookout. So next time you're in town, you go to a game, you're in town for graduation, you just come to Tuscaloosa, make sure you check it out. I mean, you're going to love it. It's really awesome, the view of the Black Warrior River. And, they got the little fireplaces up there now that it's a little bit chilly. Soon it's going to be hot. You won't need those. But take my word for it. Hotel Indigo is awesome. It's where the old Chevrolet place used to be for us old timers. Like and subscribe, Bama Insider YouTube, if you're listening right now. And if you're on the radio on Jocks 100.5 FM, Jocks 2, man, we really appreciate you guys being here to hang out with us. All right, look, let's get into this right now. Andrew Bone's going to jump on. We're going to talk all about why this is a huge recruiting weekend with the guy that I call the guru. His dad actually dropped these off right here. Look at that. So if you're looking for real estate, this guy knows real estate and recruiting, the 2 R's.
Always great to be joined by our main man, Andrew Bone. He's been here on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show for years and years. He's our recruiting expert. You can follow his work at BamaInsider.com, of course, the Alabama rival site. Many of you listening know that he's also a real estate guru. He does it all. His name's Andrew Bone. Bone, 8A game. We got a lot of guys that are going to be on campus this weekend, but they can't have contact with the coaches. What are we looking for as far as recruiting and today's game?
Yeah, this 8A visit is a little different than what we've seen in the past. Recruits, have typically come into town, not last year, obviously, but in the past, they've been able to come in town. They've been able to, tour the campus, sit down with, Nick Saban. And, of course, they kind of usher in kids, just nonstop to meet with Coach Saban for 10, 15 minutes, and then the next group, then the next group, then the next group, and we've seen some commitments happen. We've seen the kids line up and down the sidelines prior to kickoff, and spending time with coaches and taking a lot of pictures while they're on campus. So a little different this year than it has been in the past. Kids are not allowed to actually spend time with the coaches. They're not allowed to talk to them. Now, they want to FaceTime them while they're on campus. They can do that. I guess, some kids have been able to do that in the past, and it's worked out okay, but a little different. They're not able to go down on the field before the game. So you're not going to see a bunch of recruits lining the sidelines. Now, they're going to be up in the stands, but they're not going to be, lining the sidelines. They're not going to be taking pictures with Coach Saban or posting stuff from the facilities during their weekend visit. But the good thing about this weekend is kids are at least coming to campus. They're going to see the defending national champions run out onto the field. They're going to see the championship, team, honored. They're going to see Devonte Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, honored. And, that's something that, obviously is going to stand out to a lot of people. And, I think the majority of kids that are going to visit Alabama this weekend are going to be in-state kids. We're going to see some commitments that are going to be in town. So it's an easy drive. And I think we've seen some other schools that have really pushed for kids to visit for their spring game. And I don't want to say it's not a good thing or a bad thing, because I think, you can look at it in different ways. But I think with Alabama, they really didn't press for kids to come to the spring game this weekend. If you're an in-state kid, you want to come down, you're a commitment, you want to come down, love to have you. But really for their premier targets, the guys they really want in this class, it may be out of state, it may be from Texas or South Florida or Virginia or wherever it may be, they're really wanting those guys not to come this weekend. They want those guys to come in June when they're able to sit down with them, when they're able to spend time with them, or maybe they're able to work them out. That's the time when they really are trying to get their premier top end targets that are out of state on campus, to see Alabama for the first time. They don't want them to come and not be able to spend time with any of the coaches or come into the facilities or meet with the strength conditioning staff or meet with the training staff, or, they want those guys to come at a different time. But we're going to see a lot of in-state kids that have, majority of them have been to Tuscaloosa before. They're coming down to, enjoy the spring game. They're coming down to watch kids they may have played with or played against, or people that they're friends with, compete in this spring game this weekend. So that's what we're going to see this weekend. We might see a commitment. I'm not banking on it, but, these spring games and, kids being around campus, you never know what the feeling may be after they leave campus, and, they may be ready to make that decision. But we're going to see, I would say, 20 or so recruits, top end recruits that are going to be in Tuscaloosa this weekend. And, even though they're not going to be able to spend time with the coaching staff, at least they're going to be around the program. And, Alabama certainly doesn't mind that.
He's Andrew Bone. I'm Mick Gillespie. You are listening to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show on Jocks 2. Birmingham, Tuscaloosa. We appreciate it. Hey, look, we're here every single game day. Or maybe you're watching right now. You're hanging out with us at Innisfree in Tuscaloosa. That's where we are right now doing this show. Love hanging out here. There's not a better spot on the game day the game day bar list to hang out than where we are right now. Innisfree. There's also a location in Birmingham. Andrew Bone is a legend in here. He actually has a plaque on the wall that that just goes to show what kind of guy you were back in the day. Back in your wilder, younger days, where when you walk in, there's a monument to you. No, I'm just kidding. No, you know how cool it is here, Bone. Look, what we're wondering is, the next group, are they coming here? Is it going to be Ty Simpson, 5-star? I mean, is he going to be part of the next wave? Is he going to be in town this weekend? You're going to have to show him around at Innisfree?
Yeah, I don't know if Ty's going to make I don't know if Trent Rogers is going to let Ty in, but I think Ty's certainly going to be on campus, and he's going to be recruiting other kids. I mean, like I mentioned, there are some top end guys that are going to be in Tuscaloosa, most of them in-state guys, but Ty Simpson, You have Robert Woodyard. You have Emmanuel Henderson. Three guys who are all on Alabama's commitment list that are going to be in Tuscaloosa, that are going to be there, that are going to be trying to reach out, trying to find these different recruits that Alabama's going after. And one off the top of my head that everybody wants is Jeremiah Alexander, the number one player in the state of Alabama in this 2022 class, former Alabama commitment. A lot of people think it's an Alabama-Georgia recruiting battle. I certainly think so. Some people surprised that he hadn't committed to Georgia. I'm not. I think, when he decommitted from Alabama, a lot of people thought, well, he's going to Georgia. It wasn't like that. This was a situation where he wanted to back off his commitment so that he didn't feel the pressure to not take other visits. He really wanted to visit other schools and experience it because he didn't get a chance to do that as a sophomore and really as a junior to this point. So he really wanted to back off from that decision, be able to take visits freely, enjoy it. People can say, "Oh, you can be committed and still take visits." Well, you don't. Until you're in these kids' shoes, you don't really understand the situation they're in. They're committed. They're committed. If you visit another school, you're going to have an entire fan base, attacking you, saying, "Why are you? You're not, really committed. Why don't you back off your decision?" We may not be like that, but there are people out there, and they tell these recruits this all the time. So I don't think he wanted that pressure. I think he wanted to back off, enjoy the recruiting process, make that decision when he was ready. So I still think Alabama's got a great chance to land him down the road. Justice Finkley, 4-star defensive lineman from Hewitt-Trussville, certainly a big target for Alabama, somebody that they really, hold in high regard. Shamar James, outside linebacker out of Faith Academy, going to be in town. Certainly somebody that I'm watching pretty closely that could potentially make a decision this weekend. Has Alabama in his top 8. Grew up an Alabama fan. Is close friends with Alabama freshman linebacker Deontay Lawson. So that's certainly somebody that we're going to continue to watch. Antonio Kite out of Anniston, defensive back, just played as a junior. His first year playing high school football. Has been a star basketball player. I think he still plans on trying to figure out what he's going to do. Is he going to play football? Is he going to play basketball? He's got a lot of basketball offers, including one from Alabama. This is a extremely talented kid. So I think he's still trying to figure out what sport he's really going to focus on. But Alabama extended him an offer after his I think it was during his junior season, and has really maintained a strong relationship with him ever since. And there's some other kids that are going to be in town. Amari Kelly, 4-star wide receiver from Hewitt-Trussville, TJ Dudley from Montgomery Catholic, and then there's some elite 2023 guys that are also going to be in town. 2023 class in the state of Alabama, extremely talented. There's a lot of Rivals 100 kids that are in that group. Kelby Collins, defensive lineman from Gardendale, he just picked up an offer from Alabama last week. He's going to be in Tuscaloosa. AJ Harris, a defensive back from Glenwood School in Phoenix City. He got offered last week. He's going to be in Tuscaloosa. Peter Woods, number 1 player in the state of Alabama, number 5 overall player in the Rivals 100. This is a bona fide 5-star recruit. Definitely going to be one of the premier prospects in the country from Thompson High School. Also going to be in Tuscaloosa. His teammate Tony Mitchell, also in the Rivals 100, defensive back, former Tennessee commitment. He's going to be in Tuscaloosa this weekend. So a lot of guys, and a lot of guys who know each other. We've seen a lot of these Birmingham area kids that are going to be in town, and then at the head of the ring, you got Ty Simpson. There's going to be, obviously, he's been pretty active on social media in terms of recruiting kids. Now he's got a chance to be around them, so he's going to really be turning up the heat and really trying to recruit these guys. And also going to see some signees on campus. Guys like Dallas Turner, Kadarius Callaway, Tim Keenan, Anquin Barnes. All these guys are coming back up to campus. And guess what? Most of them haven't been to campus in a very long time. So they're really excited about, getting to Tuscaloosa this weekend and seeing some of their guys in their recruiting class and their number 1 recruiting class, perform out there on the field this weekend.
Bone, tell us about Andrew J. Bone Real Estate. That's what brings you to our show, as always.
Yeah, the real estate group is, we've been doing really well this spring. Been pretty busy in Tuscaloosa and in Birmingham. We got a lot of game day condos and rentals down in Tuscaloosa, and have sold some houses and have listed some good houses down in T-Town, but also staying really busy in the Birmingham market as well. So if anybody's looking to buy or sell any residential real estate, be sure to give us a call, and we'd be more than happy to help you. You can just go to my Twitter handle, Andrew, the letter J Bones. Shoot me a message. Tell me, hey, I'm ready to list my house. Hey, I'm ready to buy a house or a condo down in Tuscaloosa or up in Birmingham somewhere. Give me a shout. I'll be more than happy to help you.
Thanks, Bone.
And that's Andrew Bone. Look at this right here. Look at that. That's Andrew Bone, hometours.com. Check it out. He's our guy, and we love him for all the great stuff that he brings to the table with recruiting. Look, we are hanging out right now. Let me throw this up here. Stan Adams is going to join me here in a second, but this is a Budweiser T-shirt. They just handed me a seltzer, and I would swing this around, but I don't want to make everyone jealous. We got paper football. We got the Bud girls here. They're giving stuff out. Innisfree in Tuscaloosa getting ready for Alabama and the 8A game. The hunt for #19 starts, which is unbelievable, right? All right, guys, when we come back, we're going to talk about all of the great things going on at the city of Tuscaloosa, what we got going on in the city of Tuscaloosa, I should say, if I can get that out right. Tourism and sports, big part of what we do in this community. Stan Adams, who you see right there, you're going to see him even more when we come back, and we're going to talk about all that stuff. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show rolls on after this.
It's the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The Lookout Bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy best of Tuscaloosa.
Alabama fans, what is going on? It is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. I'm inviting you to come to check out BamaInsider.com, the #1 source of Alabama Crimson Tide football coverage. We're going to have everything you need following Alabama's spring football game, Nick Saban's press conference, what we learned, observations, and of course, weekend recruiting visitors. Find more at BamaInsider.com. The free promo code is simply Roll Tide at checkout. Again, BamaInsider.com, promo code Roll Tide at checkout.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Bud Light has entered the hard seltzer game with Bud Light Seltzer, the new go-to drink for so many people. And Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great with 4 outstanding flavors like black cherry, lemon lime, strawberry, and mango. Bud Light is a household name, but wait until you try Bud Light Seltzer. Remember, Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great. Be on the lookout for Bud Light Seltzer. It's coming to your local grocery or convenience store.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer.
The city of Tuscaloosa is starting to bounce back after COVID. Today's show is presented by Tuscaloosa Sports and Tourism, and it's great to have Stan Adams on. He's the director of sports. As you guys hang out with us, look, we're on the radio right now, Jocks 2, 100.5, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, or Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, however you want to say that. This show, by the way, folks, is kind of destined for statewide coverage. We'll get into that maybe in the future, but I'm just winking at you right now. Like and subscribe, though, as you watch on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. And if you're listening to the podcast right now, the best way you can yell Roll Tide is a 5-star ranking as you maybe are on Apple or Spotify. Well, Stan, good to see you, man. Welcome to Innisfree. Well, let me turn your mic on. That now I'm more hospitable.
You know, hey, just happy to be on here right now, you know, and we've talked about this for a while and been looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's great to have you on here. You work with a good guy in Don Staley, man. He was the soccer coach when I was a student at Alabama. I mean, I go way back with Don. What's he like to work with? You can tell him I'm not going to say anything.
Well, I can tell you right now, he's actually not in town, so I can say whatever I want. No, Don is, I mean, as everyone knows him as coach, I mean, he's just an outstanding guy, you know, wouldn't want to work for anybody else. I mean, always, you know, team first mentality. It's never him, it's everybody else and the greater everybody else. But I mean, sometimes you wouldn't even realize he actually was a coach. You know, he doesn't play up the, you know, he's a Hall of Fame soccer coach. He started the program here. You would never even know that, come and talk to him on a normal day. But, you know, he actually like he doesn't really talk about it too much because as he calls it, his dad called it communist kickball. So we don't really talk too much soccer, but it's kind of awe-striking that you kind of look at his wall and you're like, wow, you are in several Hall of Fames and you are really well known, but you would never know it.
But it's good to see him back in town and overseeing the sports and tourism in Tuscaloosa. It's a big part of our economy. I mean, we took a shot with this COVID. I mean, I know I did personally, but I know that you guys did too, because so much of what we do is based off of football.
It really is. It really is. I mean, I think, you know, it was no secret that, you know, we're usually looking at a $200 million economic impact or more, depending on the year from football season. And that just didn't happen. I mean, whether it was 20%, you know, we got some, you know, better. Hey, some is better than nothing. That was kind of our mentality. We had to have something. But, you know, that really kind of let us shine through. I think a lot of times we get kind of forgotten about. I think people think tourism is only football. And, yes, tourism is a lot of tourism in Tuscaloosa is football, but that's only 7 weekends out of the year. You got to somehow fill out the rest of those hotel room nights. And that's kind of where we come in. So what I like to say, and I kind of told everybody in a bunch of my interviews we were doing before, is we were able to, since June 15th hit, when the governor told us we can actually start doing events, we hit the ground running. We ran 25-plus events from June 15th to September, all outdoor events. But I kind of, like what I like to say, you know, if everything else, you like to just diversify your portfolio. You know, hey, it's always nice putting our eggs in football basket, but whenever that doesn't happen, what else is there? And I think that's where we really came and shined through.
It's great to have Stan Adams with us talking about the city of Tuscaloosa sports and tourism. Obviously, with COVID, I mean, this is a big-time topic. I mean, it really is something that a lot of us are wondering, you know, what's right now, I mean, you know, where are we with COVID and city events?
Right now, I mean, we're as the governor she lifted the mask mandate. You know, obviously it's by business to business, but even when we were in the middle of COVID, we were still running events, so we were following all guidelines. You know, staying 6 feet apart from each other, make sure mask at all times. But really, it's kind of an event and venue by event kind of basis on kind of what they want us to do. Obviously, you know, with one of our biggest events coming up right now is we have USA Duathlon National Championships. That's coming up May 22nd, 23rd. With that event, their precaution is as much as there is. I mean, we're cutting down on aid stations because we don't want to, you know, kind of have less contact as possible. Masks at all time for the athletes, but that's kind of mandated by the actual triathlon themselves. And hey, more safety for us in the city is better for everybody else.
Thanks for joining us here on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. As you watch on the Bama Insider YouTube site, make sure that you subscribe, give us a thumbs up. And if you're listening on the radio on Jocks 100.5, I'm Mick Gillespie. This is Stan Adams. We're talking about the city of Tuscaloosa, getting people back here again. What do we got coming up? I know you sent me a couple events.
Yeah.
One that it has to do with the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, so that's a real big event. First year event. So we'll see, you know, with first-year events, they're huge, or they kind of struggle out the gate. So we'll see. Hopefully, we're hoping this is a huge one that starts next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Really, this is the Atlanta Braves. It's called Growing the Game, Braves Battle Country. Really, what this is the Braves' real initiative to really start growing their fan base at a much younger age. So they want to start these kind of pocket tournaments, and really, Friday night we'll kick off at 6:30 with kind of a parade in the outfield. 7:00 kicks off. We'll have a home run derby followed by a pitching contest and running the bases, and then the actual participating players, they'll get to meet a Braves alumni and take a photo opportunity. Saturday starts with the with pool play, and then Sunday was bracket play and championships.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So, the Braves are actually involved in this, and this is part of their community initiative, huh?
Exactly, and they really fell into play with us because we're kind of in their Braves country, so their market. So really, with Bowers Park, which is an 8-field park, we host, anything from Dixie Youth World Series. We host ASA softball regionals. It kind of was a no-brainer for them, just kind of where we were centrally located in the state. Our ballpark's right off I-20 with all those corridors of hotels, so it kind of just worked out for both of us.
So let's talk about what you guys got coming up May 22nd and 23rd, the USAT Duathlon National Championship. Yeah. What is a duathlon?
So duathlon is a run, bike, run. Something that I don't think a lot of people realize is Tuscaloosa has actually hosted the most USA triathlon events of anybody in the country. You may think it might be someone out in California or some of the West Coast. No, it's Tuscaloosa. Since I think 94 was the first time we hosted an Olympic trial. We're just kind of perfectly set up for it. We've hosted, I think, 20 plus events with them now, whether it be, collegiate nationals back in 17 and 18, with the duathlon nationals championships, really with the Black Warrior River, just kind of, that really perfectly sets us up for anything triathlon based. And then we use the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater, the beautiful Tuscaloosa Amphitheater, as our kind of hub when it comes down to the, that's where we stage everybody. They finish and start there. And then Jack Warner Parkway just kind of leads itself to just a straightaway. So we're really just kind of perfect for them in every aspect.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty fun event. What else do you guys got coming up? Anything concert-wise? Is that something that's on the horizon?
Yeah. Concert-wise, I think that starts out back in June, so that'll be good for us. That's not really our department. That's more of the actual city, not the tourism department. But from our perspective, we've got the same weekend as we've got May 12th through 15th. We're hosting the ASA softball regional. We've hosted that for I think about 10 years right now. That'll be 4 days for us. And that same weekend, we've also got the DCAF Druid City Arts Festival that's been hosted for 10 plus years too. So, it seems like every weekend we're going to have something, which is great for the hotels and great for everybody here in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, it's a good feeling to just kind of know that we're moving back into having events and doing things and being involved. And obviously the 8A game taking place today. Who do you think's going to win?
That's always the question. Well, obviously Alabama's going to win. It's just what unit is going to win. I'd like to think anytime that Bryce Young's going to be on the team, I'm going to go with money on that one.
Who's the MVP? Give me your MVP for this game.
Ooh, that's going to be tough.
A lot of times these MVPs. Mac Jones was an MVP.
Yeah.
Minchie was an MVP, and he was behind 4 NFL guys.
I want to go with Javon Baker. I've heard a lot about Javon. I know he was stuck behind a lot of good people last year. I like to think he's going to be breaking out this year, and maybe he'll show out in this game and kind of prove everybody right.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping too. He's actually the same guy that I picked to be the MVP.
Nice.
We talked about it on one of our other shows, but I'm excited about what he's going to be able to do now that we're going to see him in there a lot, Yeah,
that's kind of, everyone talks about, how many people we lose every single year, but the way I look at it is you just give other guys opportunities, and you got guys like Javon Baker, but then you got Xavier Williams. He got some play in the national championship game. You got, Billingsley is not a receiver, but he might as well be. He's kind of the Kyle Pitts, that new age kind of tight end. You got weapons everywhere. You got Mechie coming back, and then you got people like JoJo Earl coming through too. So I'm not really afraid about the skill position. You got Slade Bolton coming back too. Just pretty much just don't turn the ball over. I think we'll be all right with that running back core we got coming back too.
Right.
Good Lord.
I feel like the defense is going to be as good as we've had at Alabama in a while. And it's hard to say it because we've had so many great defenses, but the game's a lot different now. The rules have changed. So as far as the new rules go, this defense should be, I'm guessing But I think this should be about as good as you're going to get in this day and age in college football.
I think we finally kind of changed the way we recruit to kind of reflect that. I think Saban said that a couple weeks ago. We need to change our perception of what an All-American defense is. It's not giving up the 11 points or 9 points, whatever back in 2011. You're going to have to give up 16, 17 points. But I think what you really need is those pass rushers, which from all accounts, Will Anderson and Chris Allen are just picking up where they left off last year. Can they get pass rush? And I know we lose some guys in the secondary, but I don't think Josh Jobe is anything. I think he'll be an All-American this year. And then I've heard some good things. You got Kool-Aid McKinstry coming through. I mean, we'll see. He's new on campus, but I mean, you've got trying to think, Jalen Armour Davis out there. I've heard he's been doing well on the outside. And then at safety, I mean, you kind of just got plug and play. You got Brian Branch, Malachi Moore. They're going to fight for that star money position. And then whoever doesn't win that, I would like to think they'd be an opposite Jordan Battle. So I think it's secondary. And then you got Christian Harris coming back with Jalen Moody too. So I just think all across the board. And then you got all these depth of these new guys that came in for the last recruiting class too. You know, the Drew Sanders and all those guys. So
the best recruiting class ever.
Yeah, I know. And that's not just to throw that one out there. I mean, so it's I think that we could lean on the defense, and that should be our strength. But at the end of the day, I don't think, obviously it's going to be hard to replicate what we did on offense last year. That's going to be real difficult. But not to say that we can't come close to it. I don't think there's any limits on this offense.
Stan, tell people how they can follow what you guys do at Tuscaloosa Sports and Tourism, where they can go to find out information on the Atlanta Brave event that you got coming in and the dual-athlon and some of these other things.
Yeah, so pretty simple for us. So everything we do, our handles on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, is at Visit Tuscaloosa. You can go to our website, visittuscaloosa.com. And if you want to sign up or get some more information about the Braves event, it's bravescountrybattle.com.
Stan Adams, man, I appreciate you coming on, brother. That was a lot of fun. And look, stick around. And I mean, we're gonna toast our man Fluffopotamus later on in the show. So feel free to hang out. We got the Bud Girls here. We're auctioning off. I think they're giving tickets away to win that football team.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna try to sign one of those.
I thought that. I could be wrong, but I mean, there's an incredible paper football table here. Yeah. This is awesome. We got, they're sampling a lot of these Bud Light seltzers, which are delicious. I mean,
they're amazing.
I heard they were good, and now I'm trying them, And so they got swag that we're giving out. We're doing it all. The Innisfree in Tuscaloosa, an awesome place to go and get ready for your game day experience. All right, guys, look, the Bama Insider Tailgate show is going to roll on. We'll be right back.
Experience the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The lookout bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
Alabama fans, what is going on? It is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. I'm inviting you to come to check out BamaInsider.com, the #1 source of Alabama Crimson Tide football coverage. We're going to have everything you need following Alabama's spring football game, Nick Saban's press conference, what we learned, observations, and of course, weekend recruiting visitors. Find more at BamaInsider.com. The free promo code is simply Roll Tide at checkout. Again, BamaInsider.com, promo code Roll Tide at checkout.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Bud Light has entered the hard seltzer game with Bud Light Seltzer, the new go-to drink for so many people. And Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great with 4 outstanding flavors like black cherry, lemon lime, strawberry, and mango. Bud Light is a household name, but wait until you try Bud Light Seltzer. Remember, Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great. Be on the lookout for Bud Light Seltzer. It's coming to your local grocery or convenience store.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer.
Tailgate Show is here, and it's brought to you by the Tuscaloosa Sports and Tourism Department. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa, pronounced just right. Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey, also brought to you by Bud Light and Bud Light Seltzer, light and refreshing, and Hotel Indigo. A world of neighborhood discovery awaits. For the next 2 hours, well, really for the next hour, we're going to talk about this 8A game, Alabama, at noon today at Bryant-Denny Stadium. We'll get a good look, and we're going to see what's going to happen with this new quarterback, new offense, and everything else. I'm Mick Gillespie. Great to have you guys with us. Kyle Henderson joined us in the first hour from Bama Insider, and we're going to talk with, coming up in the second hour, Lance from the Jocks Roundtable. We're going to hear from Tony Tsoukalas coming up here shortly. As you watch on Bama Insider's YouTube channel, thumbs up and subscribe, guys. We appreciate you being here. And if you're listening to our radio broadcast on Jocks 2, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Roll Tide, thanks for listening. And don't forget, BamaInsider.com, your spot to find out about the latest as it comes to the Crimson Tide. Talk to Tony Tsoukalas. He really does know his stuff. I mean, I'm telling you. He is the beat writer for Alabama, Bama Insider. We're going to talk a lot about this 8A game, and this was our conversation we just had a couple minutes ago. I got to ask you before we get into today's game, NFL Draft. Great to be joined by Tony Tsoukalas. He is the beat writer for Bama Insider, the Alabama rival site, as you well know. And he joins us here on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show live from Innisfree in Tuscaloosa, getting you ready for the 8A game. Tony, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man. Jealous of you being over there at Innisfree.
Now, we'll have a nice stiff bourbon for you, or Bud Light. Maybe a little Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Got some of that. Mm-hmm. I know you're a big fan.
I'm all for it, man.
Yeah, we're having a good time. Let's talk about the festivities tomorrow. It's the 8A game. It's the kind of the end of spring practice, and these games, and we're going to talk about this later, they're fun because we get to see Bryce Young and some of the new players who are going to take spots of last year's championship team. But let's start with them. Last year's championship team, it's crazy to say last year already, right? But they're going to be honored.
I know. Last season, at least. Yeah.
So what are some of the things that we expect as far as honoring this football team? They didn't get the parade. They didn't have the normal, hey, let's pack the stadium type event.
Yeah. So the national championships will be honored. The national champion team will be honored after the game. I believe Devonte Smith is going to be presented with the Heisman Trophy at halftime. So you'll get to kind of like celebrate. I mean, it's not going to be a parade, right? But it's still going to be a nice time to kind of celebrate that team in front of a live audience, in front of a 50% capacity audience, which is, obviously not 100% what we wanted, but it's something. And so it'll be nice for those people inside to kind of recognize the national champions and what a special season it was last year.
Yeah, it really was 13-0. You got a lot of these guys going into the NFL draft. I got to ask you before we get into today's game, NFL draft-wise, Mac Jones, he's still going third. I'm starting to see that the odds are Justin Fields might be the guy the 49ers take.
It could. I mean, look, they could go different ways. I think for Mac, if he doesn't go number 3, he could slide just a little bit, but I don't see him sliding too much. And then there's a lot of people that think he's going to go number 3. I think you could have a really historic draft class for Alabama in general, too. I mean, look, they could have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in probably the top 15 picks, if you think about it, because you got Mac Jones, the 2 receivers, and then Patrick Surtain. I see all those guys basically going in the top 15. And then can they, tie LSU's SEC record by getting a 5th guy in there? Could they get a 6th guy in there and tie Miami's, all-time record? Both of those are pretty possible. Shoot, I mean, if the stars aligned, there's, I think you need Landon Dickerson, Najee Harris, and Christian Barmore to all slip in there, but they could maybe set their own record with 7. That's probably a long shot, but I think 5 is pretty realistic if you look at it.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see. I mean, that's coming up. That's I guess the next big thing we'll be covering, and you can follow it on Bama Insider. And we appreciate you guys as we talk to Tony Tsoukalas here on Jocks 2, 100.5 radio, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa on the FM dial, or maybe you're watching. Thumbs up, subscribe as we hang out. All right, let's talk about the battles to watch. Everybody's anticipating that Paul Tyson could possibly push Bryce Young. I'm not really feeling like that's a battle, though. I feel like Bryce Young's the starting quarterback. Give me some battles to watch today.
I just want to see how this offensive line holds up against this front 7, because it could get ugly. A few years ago, what was it, 2016, I believe, Tim Williams ruined A-Day, right? Well, I think Will Anderson has a chance to ruin A-Day again, just because, I mean, we saw how deadly he can be, how, much of a menace he can be and get in the backfield. If he's going up against an offensive line that's kind of makeshift, we don't really know who's going to be on that line. If he's going up against that, Will Anderson or, Christopher Allen, they could both be a problem and really make life difficult for Bryce Young. I think a lot of people want to see how the wide receivers go against the secondary, and that's another matchup where you have kind of an inexperienced wide receiver group against a relatively pretty veteran secondary. I know they have to replace Patrick Surtain, but other than that, you have to bet on the secondary there. And look, I think we're going to get a defensive game. I just think when you look at the sides, the defense is a little bit stronger right now than the offense, especially with some of the guys out on offense. So, yeah, I'm kind of thinking it might be a little bit lower scoring game. I think maybe for the fans, it gets a little frustrating unless you're just a really big fan of defense. I think everyone wants to see these teams kind of light it up. That's the fun thing to watch, but I think you might see more defense on Saturday.
How about these new coaches? I mean, you're talking about new offensive coordinator, basically like it's almost an entirely new coaching staff. Not as much on defense as offense, but Bill O'Brien's going to make his Alabama debut, right? You got Doug Marrone, who I just absolutely love as the new offensive line coach. He makes his debut. What do you expect from the coaches that make their debut for Alabama?
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice to see, Bill O'Brien and kind of maybe see somewhat of what the offense will look like. Although you got to remember it is an 8-day game. I don't think Alabama wants to show too much. And sometimes these game plans can be a little vanilla. I mean, obviously this is going to be on TV and, Alabama doesn't want to give away the whole game plan before the season starts. So we'll see what we can take out of it. But it'll be interesting to see, Bill O'Brien, and maybe we see a wrinkle that we hadn't seen before. I think we're probably going to have to wait until the fall to see those, but who knows? I think, and then, just you're right, though, that there's a lot of new faces on this offensive side, and let's see how, we were talking about how the players are doing, let's see how, they manage their game setting with all the eyeballs on them. But I expect everybody to be, pretty well taken care of, and I expect it to be just like a normal 8-day, and I'm excited to see it.
Tony Tsoukalas is with us. He's the beat writer for Bama Insider. You can read his work on the Alabama Rivals site. Tony, last question before I let you go. Evan Neal, we know he's out for the offensive line. You already talked about it, this offensive line against Alabama's defensive line. Who else do you think is going to miss this game?
Oh, this is a touchy subject for Nick Saban. And actually, I don't think he totally ruled out Evan Neal. But look, Evan Neal had to leave last scrimmage, according to Saban. Javian Cohen was dealing with a bone spur. So those are two guys that have been working on the offensive line. And the offensive line was already without Emil Ekiyor Jr. He'll be out. And Pierce Quick as well. So it's going to be a young offensive line, a kind of inexperienced offensive line, if you will. But it'll be interesting. I don't think if Evan Neal is going to go, I mean, they're not going to push him really hard. Let's remember, this is a scrimmage. So the last thing, the only way you really lose a scrimmage is if someone gets hurt. And so I don't think Alabama's going to push it. I think you're just going to see some young guys, Tommy Brown, Damian George might step in. Obviously, you're going to get to see some of the freshman tackles and J.C. Latham and Tommy Brockmeyer. You'll have a veteran in Chris Owens. So there's talent on the offensive line. It's just a matter of, it's pretty inexperienced. And when it's going up against a front seven as good as the one that, Alabama's first team defense has, it could get ugly at times. We'll just have to see.
All right, Tony, thanks so much, man.
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
That's Tony Tsoukalas from Bama Insider. Yeah, great hanging out with Tony as we talk to you from Innisfree here in Tuscaloosa, reminding you guys that we are getting you set for the 8A game. And as you watch on YouTube, on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up and subscribe as you hang out. I'm Mick Gillespie, and this is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. We do this before every single Alabama football game. We do it from our places in Tuscaloosa. We go around the state of Alabama, and we really appreciate you guys being here as we get you ready for football. This is an exciting 8A game because of the fact that we don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, because there's new quarterback, new receivers, new offensive linemen, and new coaches. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all breaks down. On the show, we talked to Kyle Henderson about that. Tony Tsoukalas did a great job of breaking it down. As we hang out here, or maybe you do your own tailgating, I want to tell you guys about the original peanut butter whiskey, a lot like Alabama, the original Alabama Crimson Tide. The story behind Screwball peanut butter whiskey is really amazing. It's kind of like that new Fireball where you bring it and like everybody wants to take a shot of it at the tailgate. This was a couple out in California. The husband was basically an immigrant to the country as a kid, had this dream like just, hey, I would love to have a peanut butter shot. And he came up with Screwball, and I'm telling you, it is so good. It's kind of like that American dream type thing, but when you taste it, it is a dream. It's awesome. So try it for yourself, Screwball peanut butter whiskey. We've got some Screwball swag that we're giving out here. Great to have them as part of the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. When we come back, we're going to talk about the hotel situations in Tuscaloosa. If you're planning on coming to a football game, you're going to want to listen to what our next guest, Tina Jones, talks about, because it's time to start booking those hotels, getting those trips ready to see Alabama play in person. Going to be a really fun schedule this year. We got more coming up on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, so don't go anywhere.
It's the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The Lookout Bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
Alabama fans, what is going on? It is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. I'm inviting you to come to check out BamaInsider.com, the #1 source of Alabama Crimson Tide football coverage. We're going to have everything you need following Alabama's spring football game, Nick Saban's press conference, what we learned, observations, and of course, weekend recruiting visitors. Find more at BamaInsider.com. The free promo code is simply Roll Tide at checkout. Again, BamaInsider.com, promo code Roll Tide at checkout.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Bud Light has entered the hard seltzer game with Bud Light Seltzer, the new go-to drink for so many people. And Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great with 4 outstanding flavors like black cherry, lemon lime, strawberry, and mango. Bud Light is a household name, but wait until you try Bud Light Seltzer. Remember, Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great. Be on the lookout for Bud Light Seltzer. It's coming to your local grocery or convenience store.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer.
BamaInsider Tailgate Show, our special 8A game presentation brought to you by Tuscaloosa Sports and Tourism. Also presented by Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey. Our friends at Bud Light and Bud Light Seltzer, light and refreshing. And I got to tell you, they just handed me. I don't even know. Now I'm at 2 over here. So I've got 2 different flavors. The peach pear is one, and then the other one here, let me show you guys this, is the spicy pineapple. So those are the 2 that they're throwing them this way. But if you're on the no-carb diet like I am, these are really, really good to try. And we're also presented by Hotel Indigo. I had a chance to talk to Tina Jones today with Hotel Indigo. I wanted to know, what's the situation COVID-wise as people plan their trips back to Tuscaloosa? As you guys hang out, thumbs up and subscribe to the Bama Insider YouTube channel. And if you're listening right now on Jocks 2, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, 100.5, hey, really glad that you're here and roll tide. All right, let's hear what Tina Jones had to say. She is the director of sales and catering at the gorgeous Hotel Indigo in Tuscaloosa, right on the Black Warrior River. And as you get ready to come back to town for a football game, she's got some great information for you. Well, obviously, I couldn't hear it, so some kind of a technical glitch. I'm going to flip that back to later on in the show. Let's talk to Lance Taylor, Lance's Locks. Lance is part of the Jocks Roundtable, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa. He jumps on our show each and every week as we get ready for all the things that are important to us, right? I mean, like football and wagering on football, knowing what the odds are. We'll talk to Tina later on, but let's catch up with Lance Taylor from Jocks in Birmingham. On the quarterback battle going to Bryce Young, or do you think that it's always great to talk with Lance Taylor from Jocks Radio in Birmingham? He's a regular part of our show. Of course, he's the man behind Lance's Lock. Not a lot of football games. I mean, you can't bid on the 8A game, but you're a guy who's been a former coach of this game. So are you betting on the quarterback battle going to Bryce Young? Or do you think that Paul Tyson has a chance? And good to talk to you, Lance.
Yeah, you too, Mick. It's been a while, man. It's been, I don't know, a couple of months since football season. And I don't know if quarterbacks matter. The first time I was involved in the A-Day game was in 2011. And I think A.J. McCarron, it might have been 2010. Anyway, he was the second team quarterback, and our team won. So I think Bryce Young will play better tomorrow, but I don't know if quarterback matters. But I'll tell you, man, it's a lot of fun, and I can't wait. And I came up with this thought in my head today on our show, and I don't know if you would agree or not, but this might be the largest assembled crowd since we've had the pandemic when you start to think about this, because obviously, the NBA, you go back to the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, outside of what the Texas Rangers did a couple of weeks ago, limited capacity. And now we're talking about half capacity at Bryant-Denny. If we get a decently nice day in Tuscaloosa, you could have over 50,000 fans. And I would think with that many people together with no concerts or really sporting events, that might be the biggest crowd we've had in 14 or 15 months.
Yeah, well, that's a good sign as far as things to come. And Alabama has said that they're going to have full capacity when the regular season comes. So, obviously you hope that things go in this direction. It gets back to normal.
Yeah, you hope. And I've got a feeling that it will. And, come fall, I think, Bryant-Denny will look, like Bryant-Denny looked in 2019. You can only hope.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, let's talk about the NFL draft. I know that 8A game is today, and that's kind of, where people are doing today, getting ready for that. But the side story is that the NFL is coming up and that Alabama has a ton of players in this NFL draft, a lot of guys at the top of the draft. The big question, and it's something that we've touched on already on the show, is where is Mac Jones going? I mean, like the odds had him. I mean, you're a guy that plays the odds. I mean, you're Lance's lock, right? That they had him as the favorite to go number 3 to the 49ers. Now, all of a sudden, he's kind of slotting back, and it looks like it could be someone else.
Well, San Francisco is obviously going to take a quarterback. I don't think Kyle Shanahan. I think he thinks that, he's seen the ceiling with Jimmy Garoppolo. You look at Garoppolo's health. He's missed basically half the games that he's been active for San Francisco. So, it might be Jimmy G's team this year, but they're going to go quarterback of the future. And the question is it going to be Mac Jones or is it going to be Justin Fields at number 3? I hear Shanahan likes Jones. I hear John Lynch, your general manager, likes Justin Fields. Vegas has got Fields a little favored, but when you start to look at insiders, like Mel Kiper, he's got Mac Jones going number 3 to San Francisco. I don't know, Mick. I think San Francisco is obviously a team with that roster. They were one of the unluckiest teams in 2020. They couldn't stay healthy. One of the reasons they go from Super Bowl to missing the postseason. But when healthy with that offensive line, with George Kittle, with what they're building with guys like Deebo Samuel on the outside, they run the football as well as anyone. I think, it's ready for success. And I think whether it's Jimmy Garoppolo, Mac Jones, or Justin Fields, I think any of those guys have success. But I lean right now, for whatever reason, they're going to go Justin Fields.
He's Lance Taylor. You know him from the Jocks Roundtable. Of course, Lance's lock. He gives us the odds, or at least helps us break down the odds on the Bama Insider Tailgate show before every Alabama football game. We're hanging out here talking about the NFL draft today. Who's your odds-on favorite to be the first running back taken in this draft?
Well, it's going to be one of two guys. It's going to be Najee Harris or it's going to be Travis Etienne. And I think Najee, just based on what I saw last year, coming into the season, if you would have asked me who was the better running back, I would have said Etienne, hands down. But Etienne at times disappeared. I know his offensive line wasn't what it was in the past, but when you've got an elite quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, you just expected more. And there were games where he totally disappeared. So, I look at Najee Harris, by far his biggest breakout year last year, was completely dominant. So I think he'll be the first running back off the board. The question is, Mick, whether or not it'll be in the first round. I assume it will. It was taboo for a couple of years to take a running back in the first round. But, I hear the Pittsburgh Steelers have got their eye on Najee Harris now that James Conner is on to Arizona. So that would be interesting.
That'd be a good fit for him. I mean, the Steelers always seem to have a quality offensive line. And, so much of this NFL draft, too, is the needs of the teams that are picking. The other position that we're keeping a close eye on is receiver. Obviously, Devonte Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, Alabama fan favorite. Mel Kiper really likes him, right? But he might not be the first receiver taken in the draft.
Well, it's going to be one of two guys. I think the first non-quarterback is going to be Kyle Pitts, and I've got a feeling that Atlanta will stick at 4. I think he's such a special player. Obviously, you watched him at Florida. He's a complete matchup nightmare. He'll be the same in the NFL. So I think he is a difference maker. You add him to Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones with Matt Ryan. I think, Atlanta's offense gets that much better. But then it becomes who's going to be that first wide receiver. And most people believe it's going to be Jamar Chase. And, he could be the guy that would go 7 or 8. Depending if Atlanta does trade that pick to Miami might go a different direction. But first true team in need of a wide receiver would be Detroit at 7. Most people, at least Vegas odds, favor that Jamar Chase, a guy that opted out this year, was the Biletnikoff winner in 2019. He will be the guy. Watching both of them, they're completely different builds, but the production on the field really the same. When you go back to 2019, almost 1,800 yards for Jamar Chase, had 20 touchdowns, and obviously Devonte last year, one of the best seasons we've ever seen for a wide receiver en route to winning a Heisman Trophy.
No doubt about it. And then I guess the other guy, Patrick Surtain, is he going to be the first corner taken? And, what are the odds of that?
Well, it's going to be him or J.C. Horn out of South Carolina. And I think Surtain is a guy that was locked down from really pretty much day one. And I would assume with his lineage, he will be the first cornerback taken. And I don't think he slips anywhere past the top 15. So when you throw Jalen Waddle in the mix, I think Alabama for sure has got 5 guys that will go in the top 15.
Yeah, so it's going to be a really fun NFL draft. And, of course, the 8A game is happening today. So we'll get a chance to look at Bryce Young and this new Alabama offense. Alabama's odds to repeat.
You're replacing 8 starters on offense. Obviously, new quarterback with Bryce Young. It's Alabama, though, Mick. They seem to be in the college football playoff every year except for one. They seem to play for the national championship every other year. So I don't know if they repeat. I lean Clemson right now. Ohio State's got to break in a new quarterback. Uiagalelei for Clemson, we've at least seen him in a big game against Notre Dame, and he played pretty well. So I would say, it's all the regulars, man, all the regulars at the party. It's going to be Clemson. It's going to be Alabama. It's going to be Ohio State. I do think Oklahoma defensively, Alex Grinch's second year, I think they're going to be much improved. And Spencer Rattler, the way he played in the second half of the season. And then I think Georgia is with JT Daniels, the way that offense kind of rolled the final 4 games of the season, and JT Daniels going 4-0 as a starting quarterback. I think they're going to be a difficult out. But right now, I think Alabama's probably even money to win the SEC, and I would lean that direction.
Well, we're at Innisfree right now in Tuscaloosa. We're hanging out. You got Tripp, your buddy from college, right? How about Ian Fitzsimmons is here as well? Where are you at? Why don't you come down and hang out with us?
Make sure you tell Ian hello. I just got off the phone with him like 20 minutes ago, so I will see him in the next few days. But I got responsibilities, unfortunately. I feel like every time I walk into Innisfree, I don't need to have any responsibilities. I don't necessarily need to have a set place to wake up the next day. And I'm just unfortunately not in a spot to do that today. I'd love to be hanging out with you guys, though.
Well, we're going to bring you down here for the regular season when we get the show cranked back up. And it's a normal football season when Alabama hits the field in September. Let's talk about Lance's Lock before I get you off here. What do you guys got going on, and lead us up into college football?
Yeah, man, jump on board. You just go to lanceslog.com and, you can test the waters. You get a free pick every single day at lanceslog.com. It's only $90 a month for every single play. Some nights we've only got one play. We had the Milwaukee Bucks last night. It was our only play. We hit it, though. It was an easy winner. Going back just a couple of nights ago, we had 5 plays. We went 4-1. We've got 4 plays tonight. It's Major League Baseball. It's the NBA. That's all we've got right now. On some of we had some match plays in Augusta on the Masters last week. So, when we've got some of these major tournaments coming up in golf, we'll give you some match plays. And obviously, once we roll into football, everything we give out, though, it's $90 for every single play for the entire month. It's that simple. You can try us out. If you don't like us, you can run. But again, we've been doing this over 6 years. We've never had a losing year. We will win for you. Just jump on board, $90 a month. But again, free pick every day at lanceslock.com.
Thanks, Lance. Great to talk with Lance Taylor from Lance's Lock, and we'll see if we can get that interview with Tina Jones up. But got to tell you, Hotel Indigo, great partner in this Bama Insider Tailgate show located in Tuscaloosa. They got a brand new menu of food for the Lookout Lounge, which is awesome, man. It's on the rooftop bar on the top of Hotel Indigo. And for you old-timers like the guy that's coming up next segment, Chad Anderson, you remember when it used to be a Chevrolet dealership, I think, down on River Road, right? It's not anymore. Chad's a sophisticant. I mean, and you'll see when he comes on, long-time Alabama guy, Chad Anderson, but sophisticate, someone that would appreciate going to nice places, and that's what Hotel Indigo is. And I'm just joking with Chad, but I'm serious about Hotel Indigo. It's awesome. You got the Lookout Bar. It's a great experience. They take care of you there. The service is great. And for those of you that are coming to town and you want to say, hey, this is what Southern hospitality is, because I know we got listeners and viewers on this Bama Insider Tailgate show from all over the country. You come to Tuscaloosa and you want that Southern experience, Hotel Indigo is going to give it to you. They got a great staff, people that love doing what they do. Tina's one of the best in the business. She's a fantastic person and runs that hotel with positive energy. The people that work there love showing you a good time. So check it out. Hotel Indigo, as you book right now your trips, you're getting ready for Tuscaloosa. That's the place that you should start with. And if you can get a room there, and you'd be lucky you do, you'll appreciate it. All right, we're going to take a break. And again, thanks for listening to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, whether you're on Jocks 100.5, Jocks 2, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, or you're watching on our YouTube stream, BamaInsider.com. Like, subscribe. If you're listening to the podcast right now, if you downloaded us, give us a 5-star rating. That's the best way that you can tell Chad Anderson and the rest of the world, roll tide, with a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify. When we come back, we're going to talk with Chad Anderson as we get you ready from Innisfree and Tuscaloosa for the 8A game, Alabama spring game, as we talk Crimson Tide football.
The true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The Lookout Bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
Alabama fans, what is going on? It is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. I'm inviting you to come to check out BamaInsider.com, the #1 source of Alabama Crimson Tide football coverage. We're going to have everything you need following Alabama's spring football game, Nick Saban's press conference, what we learned, observations, and of course, weekend recruiting visitors. Find more at BamaInsider.com. The free promo code is simply Roll Tide at checkout. Again, BamaInsider.com, promo code Roll Tide at checkout.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines 2 of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits, LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Bud Light has entered the hard seltzer game with Bud Light Seltzer, the new go-to drink for so many people. And Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great with 4 outstanding flavors like black cherry, lemon lime, strawberry, and mango. Bud Light is a household name, but wait until you try Bud Light Seltzer. Remember, Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great. Be on the lookout for Bud Light Seltzer. It's coming to your local grocery or convenience store.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer.
To the Bama Insider Tailgate Show with all of you guys watching. We appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up if you're watching on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. This is Alabama's Rivals site, and we're getting you ready for the 8A game. And for those of you that are listening on Jocks 2, 100.5 FM, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, 69,000 watts of power coming your way. This is our 8A game show, and I got to thank all the people that made this possible, including Tuscaloosa Sports and Tourism. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa, pronounced just right. For Screwball, the original peanut butter whiskey. And I see a lot of you guys in the comments section on the YouTube show are commenting about Screwball and how much you like it. I appreciate that, guys, giving it a try. By Bud Light and Bud Light Light Seltzer, light and refreshing. They've actually handed me a couple of those right here, different flavors. For those of you that are, trying to get your beach bod down, these things are perfect for that. And by Hotel Indigo, a world of neighborhood discovery awaits. And now I bring on my friend Chad Anderson. Chad, I say friend. I mean, you've covered Alabama for a long time, but you're also my buddy. Look at you. The studio's looking good back there. What's up, dude?
Man, just can you believe it's already A-Day? Like, it just, 93 or so days ago, we were in Miami winning a national championship, and now we're already talking about the potential Bryce Young era. And I told somebody else today, he's a Tennessee fan, friend of mine, works with us, and it's like, man, it's hard to believe that we're only 4 months away from the season, a little over 4 months, but unbelievable. No, things are going great, though. Thanks for having me, Mick.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the championship game. You were actually there in Miami for the big game. And look, last year's team, I mean, they're going to be honored during the 8A game today. Man, I love those guys. I mean, national championships, they're all special, right? And I mean, you're not supposed to pick one over the other. But I mean, just personally, with everything that was going on in the world and just where we were individually, just for me personally, I was just depressed. I couldn't work, couldn't do anything, sitting at home. And then these guys went out and played football, man. I just enjoyed the way that they did it. They went around and not just won football games, but the way that they went about their business. This team's special to me, and I hate to see them go, but it's part of the process, right? The hunt for number 19.
Yeah, it is. It is part of the process, but I agree with you. People ask, and it's so hard to differentiate which Bama team was better. 09, 92, teams that Bear had, 2011, 2012, which team was really the best. But even though it was a COVID year, to me, there's no asterisk whatsoever. That was the best football team I've ever seen take the field. Just what they were able to do offensively. And you look at Nick Saban, man, think about this. He's had to change his philosophy now, 2 or 3 times since coming to Tuscaloosa. He constantly has to change his way of recruiting. He constantly has to change, instead of defense and running the ball and doing the pro style, brings in a guy like Lane Kiffin. And then he just constantly adapting and evolving. And to see that Alabama team, if you had said, Mick, walking out of the Rose Bowl, because you were there in 2009, you walked out of the Rose Bowl.
I was with you.
Yeah, exactly. You were there.
With you.
Yeah. If you walk out of that Rose Bowl and I said, Mick, in 10 years, whether we had brewskis that night or not, if I had still said in 10 years, Alabama's going to win another national championship, or I guess 11 years, but they're going to do it with the best, most prolific offense you've ever seen in your entire life, averaging 40-something points per game and they have to win games 52-24, what would you have said?
I don't know, man, because I was so happy when we left the Rose Bowl that Alabama had won a national championship, and we were there for it.
Yeah.
We had great seats in that cathedral of college football. I would have taken it. Look, I would have taken it. I remember Nick Saban at the championship rally doing his LeBron James, where he was like, we're going to win 5, 6, 7, and he's going on, and I'm going, man, I never saw him talk like that. And then on top of it, I'm like, there's just no way that we could possibly just win that many championships, right? Because it was so hard to win in 09. I mean, you had to go through Tim Tebow, and Texas was so good, and with the Auburn game and everything else. And then I turned around, and 2010's team should have won. They had a lot of talent. They didn't buy in, right? 2011 and 12 did it the right way. Yeah. The 2015, we're at the game. Georgia, the win over Georgia, and then this one. And now I feel like there's something to this. Every recruiting class wins at least one championship thing.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the drive, because it's so hard to figure out how to stay hungry, especially after you win one. Well, a fresh set of recruiting guys can come in and say, well, we never have, so we have to win one to kind of keep that going. But going back, I was saying you wouldn't have thought that Alabama would win games this way. That's what I meant by it. 10 years ago, you could see Nick Saban winning multiple national championships at Alabama. I don't think anybody saw 6, but just the way they do it and how they do it and how it's so different. But yeah, it's such a testament. Did you watch the HBO with him and Bill Belichick last year? Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I saw a little of that.
One thing that was really interesting that Saban and Belichick talked about was, you said when you get to the top of the mountain, and then everybody wants to climb the mountain and then take you off and knock you off the mountain. And one thing that stood out in that interview was Saban sitting there telling Belichick that the mindset was, you have to then become the mountain. You are the mountain. You're not just at the top of the mountain. You are the mountain. And you just have to keep elevating that peak so that nobody can get to that point with you. And that kind of just discipline and grind, and every single day waking up and going to the office and putting that kind of effort in, that's just a relentlessness that I've never seen before. I don't know if we'll ever see it again in sports, and the way he does it and how passionate he is.
He's Chad Anderson hanging out with us on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. I'm Mick Gillespie. Thanks for watching. If you're doing so on the Bama Insider Alabama Rivals YouTube channel, thumbs up and subscribe as you do so. Or if you're listening on Jocks 2, 100.5 FM, Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, that 69,000 watts, Chad. You've been in radio for a long time. You know that's you come in with 69,000 watts. That means that people can hear you all over the place, right?
Yeah, you're doing more than lighting up a light bulb in that case.
Well, look, I had an interview we were going to do with Tina Jones, and it failed. But I want to pull this up for you, and I want to talk about your next trip to Tuscaloosa, because you come to town for games all the time, right? You like to check it out. What's your plans long term as far as coming to Tuscaloosa for a game? All that, yeah. And then when you do, have you been to the rooftop yet?
Have not made it to the rooftop. I only made it to one game last year. Came down for the Georgia game. Things were kind of weird with COVID. Tickets were a little harder to get for the big games, and I'm a little bit of a spoiled fan. I just didn't want to go down for the North Texas game or whichever one was early on in the season, or a New Mexico State or something. That's me being spoiled, and always going to games and understanding that you're going to win those games. But it's still fun to go. The atmosphere, the strip, the whole thing. But no, when I go, I love the downtown area. The strip is so much different from when I was in school. Mick, when you were taking me out, back in the day when we were hanging around, going to a few establishments, I guess, if you will. But look at that, man. The video you got, the fire and the rooftop and the views and the whole thing. It's night and day different. And it's so much fun just being there for the entire weekend. And I heard earlier you talking about being able to take Jake to an 8A game. And I can't wait to take Nash. He's probably about a year away, but yeah, so much fun to be able to do that and experience it.
Yeah, I mean, these are the perfect games too to take your young kids to. You know what I mean? Because you're taking them and they're not blowing the ticket. I mean, look, if they want to roll out at halftime, you're not getting beat for the ticket. You know what I mean?
Don't tell Saban you're not staying for 4 though. Okay, don't try to use the kid excuse if Saban sees it empty in the fourth quarter. But yeah, you're right. Be fair though. The adults don't really want the kid around when Auburn's in town either. Because the adults need to cut the edge a little bit. They need to have a little beverage here and there. So it's not necessarily a good 6-year-old's atmosphere when Auburn or Georgia or somebody like that rolls in.
Well, look at Hotel Indigo, man. Next time you're in town or any of you guys come visit, make sure you check out Hotel Indigo. And I'm telling you, you're going to really like it. It's a good place to not just to stay. The rooms are really nice, but it's just a really cool place to hang out as well. So we'll definitely catch up with Tina in the near future. And Chad, you did a good job of kind of standing in there for Hotel Indigo.
Hey man, I haven't stayed there yet, but I've seen it and it's fantastic. It looks amazing.
All right, look, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we got something special planned here at the establishment. PK's hooking us up right now as we speak. Chad, you're going to kind of do your viral Budweiser and Screwball peanut butter whiskey in honor of our man Fluffopotamus. We're all going to do it here, and then we're going to just kind of wrap this show up.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, why not just stick around? All right, the Bama Insider Tailgate Show with one more segment right after this.
It's the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The lookout bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
Alabama fans, what is going on? It is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. I'm inviting you to come to check out BamaInsider.com, the #1 source of Alabama Crimson Tide football coverage. We're going to have everything you need following Alabama's spring football game, Nick Saban's press conference, what we learned, observations, and of course, weekend recruiting visitors. Find more at BamaInsider.com. The free promo code is simply Roll Tide at checkout. Again, BamaInsider.com, promo code Roll Tide at checkout.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines 2 of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to screwballwhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Bud Light has entered the hard seltzer game with Bud Light Seltzer, the new go-to drink for so many people. And Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great with 4 outstanding flavors like black cherry, lemon lime, strawberry, and mango. Bud Light is a household name, but wait until you try Bud Light Seltzer. Remember, Bud Light Seltzer is crisp and great. Be on the lookout for Bud Light Seltzer. It's coming to your local grocery or convenience store.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Ever wonder what ingredients are in Bud Light? Just check the packaging. We brew with hops, barley, water, and rice. Ever wonder what ingredients are in Coors Light? You can't check the packaging. You have to go to their website, download a PDF, and scroll to page 3. There it is. Coors Light brews with hop extract, barley, water, and corn syrup. Bud Light, brewed with no corn syrup. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer.
Of the BamaInsider Tailgate show as we hang out here at Innisfree in Tuscaloosa with Chad Anderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. What's up, Chad? Can you see us?
I got you. I'm wondering what's getting ready to happen here behind you and everything.
This 8A show is brought to you by our good friends at Budweiser, right? And so, we are dedicating it to my man Fluff, Fluffopotamus. We lost Fluff. We love Fluff. We miss him. And his favorite beer was Budweiser, right? So we're all going to have a Budweiser. I'm going to pass out some Buds, right?
Nice.
One for Fluff in here. And then we got Screwball, Chad. You ever had that before?
Yeah, once or twice, Mick.
All right. Well, I got Trip back here. What's up, Trip? Hugh Garrett Russo also in the house. Everybody. Hey, look. To Fluff. That's the Screwball. That stuff's so good. And that's a Bud. You know what?
Cheers.
I haven't had Bud Heavy in a while. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. It's America's beer. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate you coming up here and hanging out. Roll Tide to all of you guys. Roll Tide. All right, look. As we hang out here, Chad, and we talk Alabama football for one final segment before we have to bid everybody farewell, what do you expect from this 8A game? Give me your prediction quarterback-wise, and also who do you think is going to be the MVP?
You always go with quarterbacks, or a lot of times you do for MVP. I'm really interested just to see Bryce Young. He didn't really impress a lot of people last year, even when he came in. It was mop-up duty. It was just getting some reps, getting some playing time. And I don't know that he impressed a whole lot of people. So I think and Mac Jones, nobody really knew what was going to happen with him going into the year as well. Remember, after Tua left, everybody started to kind of assume that Bryce was going to beat Mac for the starting job last year. And obviously that wasn't the case. Mac was a Heisman runner-up to Devonte, and should have actually, did he finish second or third? I forgot. Trevor may have finished second, actually, now that I think of it. I just know Smitty won. But you get in that situation, and it was like, wow, nobody really thought that Bryce was going to, or that Mac was going to beat out Bryce, and it happened. And then Bryce just didn't quite look like the guy. You know what I mean? Like when Tua came in behind Jalen in 2017, when Bama was ahead in games, Tua looked like the guy. It was like, man, look at this. This is our backup over here, slinging the ball, spinning it, hitting guys, moving around, making plays. It was just lights out. Bryce didn't give that to people last year when he came into the game. So I really think that it's all eyes on Bryce. That's an obvious statement, I know. But to me, there's just not the comfort level after seeing him as the backup last year and going into the spring game. So that's really what I'm going to be looking for.
He's Chad Anderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. This is the BamaInsider Tailgate Show. As you listen on Jocks 2 Radio, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, 100.5 FM, or you watch on the BamaInsider YouTube channel. We do the YouTube show Friday night, Innisfree, Rounders in Tuscaloosa when the team's at home. We're at Innisfree. Trip and the gang hooking us up. Show's brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer, Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey right there, Hotel Indigo, and also Tuscaloosa Sport. It's a pretty good combo for this show. You kind of nailed this, though, Chad, and I want you to give me, like, your most memorable 8A game. I talked to Andrew Bone about it today, and he was talking about like some of the guys that have committed A-Day game. For you personally, give me a memory of going to the A-Day game.
For me, because Nick Saban came to Alabama January of 2007, and that was going into my next to last semester in Tuscaloosa. So I had the spring, and then I had the 07 football season, and I graduated in December. And I remember, of course, when Saban came on, and he immediately comes in and tries to grab recruits here and there, and then has an amazing recruiting class. But he comes in, and that A-Day game in the spring of 07, to me, that's the one, because that's really when stadiums and schools started jockeying for that position of, oh, look, we sold out our A-Day game, or we had full capacity. The first A-Day game I ever went to, I believe it was 2000 or 2001. Andrew Zhao was playing quarterback, Tyler Watts, and I'm at the stadium. It's fun. I'm excited. It's great. It's just football's in the air, but the stadium's got like 40,000 people in it. Then 6 years later, you got 100,000 people in for a spring scrimmage, all because Nick Saban got hired 4 months earlier. So for me, just walking in, seeing that atmosphere, understanding that everything was going to be okay, and you knew it was going to be okay after so many years of mediocrity with the occasional, Orange Bowl, the occasional 10-0 start with Shula in 05, where every now and then you'd spike and be relative, but overall it was mediocrity. And then in 07 in the spring, you could just feel it. Everything was shifting, and 100,000 people in the stadium. I'll never forget that. That was amazing.
Hey, Chad Anderson. I'm Mick Gillespie. Great hanging out with all of you in the comments section here on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, throwing out your shouts. I love reading what you guys say.
I love this guy.
Can't get them all on here, but if you're listening right now on Jocks in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, Jocks 2 100.5, you need to go to the Bama Insider YouTube channel and check it out, because this is a lot of fun. There's
Vic, I found your new social media cover photo over here.
We're winding down this episode of the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, but I'll tell you what, it's really the people that make this so much fun, man. And I can't thank everyone enough for doing this. My A-Day game moment was as a student, okay? I was a KA at Alabama, a fraternity guy. Loved doing it. I never, look, I wasn't like your typical fraternity guy. I just did it. I was the sports chair, and there were two guys that couldn't really play sports on my teams because they were actually on the football team, right? And I remember going to the A-Day game and watching these guys play, Robert Upchurch and Ross Gunnell. They were like, to me, I just looked up to those guys. Did they play in the games a lot? No. I mean, like, they were on the practice squad, but these guys did everything that, Coach Mike DuBose at the time asked them to do to help get the team ready. I mean, they were bruised and battered when they would come to the house for dinner. And I remember going to the game, and I was so proud of those guys, had that uniform on and got in there and played. So that's my most memorable moment. And I think that's what the A-Day game really means to a lot of players who are in the program and aren't going to get in the field of play during games that matter. But this one matters to them. They got the opportunity that we didn't get. So, tip of the cap to them. And I think that my second one is, look, the A-Day game that Nick Saban showed up and everybody just came out. We're like, look, we're tired of losing. We're tired of getting our butts whooped. And here comes Nick Saban. We're going to do something about it finally.
Yeah, it was nuts. You bring up such a good point with some of the guys that don't get to play all the time. This will be the biggest crowd and game action they ever see. And that is special. And that is fun. And guys like Bryce, Brian Robinson, Mechie's not playing, but those guys, they're going to see the field. They're going to have their moments. They're going to get to play in front of the big crowds. But yeah, you're right. This is such a great opportunity for those lower tier guys. They're going to play in front of a huge crowd.
Well, it's at noon. I'm going to take my little man there. It'll be his first experience. I got him a number 17 jersey.
Waddle?
Well, look, he had a 3. He had I think he had a 3. He had a 2, and he had a 32. two maybe, but they all don't fit. So
you didn't go Palmer?
I mean, I just got what, like, look, man, it's
go Palmer.
It's all relevant to when, like, you're buying one. So
I thought you were going to say 7 at first, and then you finished with teen. I thought Jay Barker had hooked you up with a jersey or something.
I love Jay, man. And the thing about Jay, as the show winds down, is that we're friends with Jay. We do radio with Jay. We love Jay, right? Is that when we were in school, Jay was just like the last guy that won a championship.
Yeah.
And it was like, there's the number 12. It was the 12th championship, and he got to kind of hold that for a while. Every time you would see it, you'd be like, oh, that's Jay Barker, We're going for number 19.
Now he's Sarah Evans' husband.
It was 12 when we were in school. It's 19 now. What Saban's done is incredible. The process has just been off the charts. Chad, anything else before we close it up?
No, it's just good to see football back. I was also excited. I know today is 50% crowd. But still looking forward to. I'm happy Greg Byrne came out a couple of weeks ago and said Bama's anticipating 100% capacity for the fall. So, man, just get us here. Another 140 days or so. Bama plays Miami, then they come home, kick off the season in Tuscaloosa. Can't wait to see a packed house, but good to see football back.
I want to thank all the people that made this show possible. Tuscaloosa Sports and Tourism, not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa pronounced just right. Screwball, the original, and I mean that, the original peanut butter whiskey. I got one right here when the show's over. Bud Light.
You already had one, Nick.
I've got two then. Bud Light and Bud Light Seltzer, light and refreshing. This is the way that things have gone for me today. But the Bud girls are here. Every time I turn around,
an Uber.
I'm not driving. Look, my hotel's right up the street. You know what hotel that is? Hotel Indigo, right? A world of neighborhood discoveries awaits. Hey, guys, like and subscribe. Seriously, like and subscribe Bama Insider and the Bama Insider YouTube channel for all the gang. Kyle Henderson, Andrew Bone, Tony Tsoukalas, for Tina Jones, and my buddy here, Chad Anderson, and our entire crew, Lance Taylor, for jumping on, and the folks in the comment section and everyone else. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the 8A game. We'll be back when Alabama plays that opening game against Miami with the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Thanks to Tripp and everybody here at Innisfree in Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide, everybody. I'm Mick Gillespie. This was fun. I had a great time, and again, man, nothing but just love, sorrow that our buddy Fluff's gone, and today's show dedicated to him and his family. We're thinking about them. We're praying for them. Everyone like Reagan Starner, all of his friends that loved him so much. It's kind of one of those things, Chad, I still can't kind of grasp it all, but I've met a lot of people in my life, and there's not many people that were as special and positive as this guy right here. So thanks for watching, everybody, and Roll Tide.